Good afternoon to all of you. I am Sir Jaiswal and today I am going to present my data that was collected during the COVID-19 lockdown in the month of May 2021. So the title of the today's talk is the addiction of the smartphone and its consequences on human health. So I think in this room we all have a smartphone. None of the people without having a smartphone. Is I correct? Yeah. So first of all, what is smartphone? A smartphone is a device that is very useful in our daily lifestyle, that making us the very convenient to talking about each other and communicate with each other. So our recent Clover survey shows that about 70% of internet users, especially the young generations worldwide, were using the smartphone for their conversation or connectivity. So if we use this smartphone much more, so it may lead the physical and psychological health issues like different musculoskeletal pains such as neck pain, lower back pain, shoulder pain, depression, also cause anxiety, and may also lead some sleep deprivations or sleep disturbance also. So the objective of this study is to assess the status of smartphone addiction and depression during the COVID-19 lockdown. I think we all are aware about the COVID-19 pandemic. At that time, the person are restricted to contact physically to anyone. So we all are connected to each other by these technical devices like a smartphone. So that's why we designed this study to measure these the impact of the smartphone. So the methodology I used that we designed an online questionnaire that having set a validated questionnaire like RMEQ for the chronotype assessment, SAS assessment that is a smartphone addiction scale that is short version, and it used for the measure the smartphone addiction, and we used the CESD, that is Center for Epidemiological Scale, that is well validated questionnaire for the measuring the depression level. So total 191 participants were participate in this study, in which approx 44% were male, and the age is range between the 17 to 32. The mean age is 23.79. So the results is in the graph first stage. This is a scatter graph, and in the x-axis there is a two aspect, that is DL denote the before lockdown and DL denote the during lockdown, because we collected the same at the same point two aspects of data at the same time. Like at the COVID lockdown, I circulate this questionnaire having same questionnaire at the two aspects. Like we asked about the before lockdown, their smartphone addiction level, and the during lockdown smartphone addiction level by the questionnaire. So at the y-axis of the scatter diagram, there is a score that is ranging between 10 to 60. The greater score having the greater smartphone addiction. So we can clearly see that there is a three category of smartphone addiction based on their score. The first score is range between 10 to 23, that is a normal individual indicating, and the score above the 23 to above 33, that is a high risk individuals, and above the 33 are considered as the addicted person. So we can clearly see that the number of individuals are shifted from the normal category to the addicted person. So at the just below the scatter diagram of first stage, there is the first B, which is showing the percentage of individual, how much percent are addicted, and which population is going to shift towards the addiction during the lockdown. So we can clearly see that during lockdown, the addicted person is approx 28%. But at the time of the lockdown, lockdown situation, the addicted is increases up to 20%. That is approx 48% of individuals are getting addicted towards the smartphone. Just near the scatter diagram of smartphone addiction, that is also a scatter diagram, that is 2A, that denotes the depression level before lockdown and during lockdown. We can see that the depression level is also significantly increased during the lockdown. So at the just below the 2A graph, that is 2B, that is showing the some percentage of the depression level. So interestingly, we can see that the depression level is much more increases during the lockdown, and it is statistically significant that the rise of addiction and depression both are significantly increased during the lockdown. Now I thought that which type of population from the smartphone, that is the three category of smartphone addiction, that is the three category of smartphone addiction: normal person, high risk, and addicted. Now I thought that which type of individual having the more depression in the lockdown. So we categorize the three graph here, that is 3A, 3B, 3C, in which we can clearly see that the addicted person, those are addicted during or before lockdown, they are much more depressed. Not even during lockdown, they also depressed before lockdown. But if we compare what the depression level during the lockdown, then we got the depression was much more higher in the lockdown situation. So as a result, we can conclude that the smartphone addiction and depression was high during lockdown. And if we ask what about the chronotype, what effect of the chronotype on smartphone addiction and the depression, so we form a linear regression model in which we got that the smartphone addiction is only associated with chronotype before lockdown. But during lockdown, we not got any significant relationship between the addiction and chronotype. Then we categorize the data on the basis of gender-wise differentiation. We only got that surprisingly the females are more addicted the smartphone during lockdown, but before lockdown the female and male is approximately same. So thank you.
Sir,
Yes.
yes, so I have a couple of queries.
Yes.
Regarding to participants, what is their background?
Sir, they all are students. They all are students and communicated via the online like GBL.
So another thing is that I don't know, addiction is assessed on the basis of the timing they are using. Was the online classes were going on during this period when you conducted this system?
Yes, sir. Online classes are already having at that time. That's why I'm using the student population for this.
So it's an addiction or it's a compulsion? They had to use the smartphone to attend their classes?
Sir, I think addiction is when you are using something more, then it will become addiction. Like हम लोग कहते हैं कि जब आप किसी चीज़ को बहुत ज़्यादा, मतलब कोई भी चीज़ अगर बहुत ज़्यादा उसका यूज़ करते हैं तो वो.
My point is that because their online classes were going on by 5 to 6 hours on an average, so they had the compulsion to use the smartphone. Because have you checked with them? A, are they using the laptop for the online classes? B, can you do the follow back story with the same? Now they again the regular classes are going on, whether they are still using the same duration of the smartphone or not.
So actually,
Because once they are addicted, then they are addicted.
Yeah. So actually, we use the only questionnaire on the basis of we categorize.
I mean, compare before and during. So what is statistics you use?
We use like Pearson's chi-square test.
Yes, so there is no Pearson's
So actually, I am not very good in this statistics. So
you need to know this.
Okay.
Pearson's correlation. Chi-square test is a chi-square test.
okay, sir.
So you need to at least understand because for schools you cannot use, I think you will not use that. For percentage you will use that.
Yes.
There are other I'm not asking the question, just suggest you because
Yes.
this is only a reason I am suggest you something. So now whenever anybody presents the data, please need to remember how can you present the decimals. So let's say we all have this general notion. We divide the sum by n, and then whatever decimal comes, we put it. Without bothering that, is it sensible to have that resolution? So for instance, in terms of age, if you are presenting them in terms of years, it's really cumbersome to think or make 23.79 years.
Yes.
Or standard error or standard deviation 3.91. So these things are very important. Can you measure year, or can you measure weight up to the 3 decimal points? So wherever you present, and whenever you present data, you have to tell that if, as I pointed out in somebody else, if the two values are not significantly different, regardless of the length of the bar or height of the bar, they are not significant. Then you have to say that there is a trend. I mean, you want to really over-hear it. And then another point is, for any human study, you need to have number. So 191 for a human study is too low a number.
Yes.
And that too, when you divide into male and female, that too, when your age range is 16 years. Because as pointed out, 17 would be your 9 to 11 grade student. 32 your maybe PhD.
Yes.
Now you cannot simply assume the drive to use the smartphone similar between a 17-year-old or 32-year-old or like me, 65-year-old.
Yes.
Right? And addiction is simply overdrive towards a particular thing. Right?
Yes.
So if you cannot live with it, so that's overdrive. So these things you need to honestly consider. It looks that human research is very easy, but it's very, very difficult.
Yes.
So I think you need to think about it.
Thank you, sir. Suggestion for your suggestion.
And once you say during lockdown, it would be don't run away, I'm not chasing you. So because I know my lab, so they think that I chase them down. So all of them, from supervisor to student. So you don't say during lockdown because you cannot assess a process. And what do you mean during lockdown? Because if you have not done it day after day after day after day, you cannot say during lockdown. You could have said after this much lockdown. Right? Because if you have done May to 11 to 31, I think you've been questioning one day, right?
Yes.
So I didn't understand myself that what you meant by May 11 to May 31. Did you do 122 days? Or did you do on one day? Did you do on May 11 and May 31?
So that is the duration in which we send the questionnaire to the participants, and participants fill this in this duration.
Yeah, but how has to really, so if you strictly start speaking to each one of us, each one of your subjects had a different period of lockdown. If you say that you collected the data over 21-day period, right?
Yes.
So these things, you make it a calendar. So 191, I spent this, got information this, got this, because they would have a variable ways to answer. And by that you would understand the outliers. And that was then like Bhavita wrote, exclusion criteria. That's a very important note to write all those small things. Because we all know who lived in this country. May 11 to May 21, again I am qualifying May 21, was not a very strict lockdown. It was May 20, it was a very strict lockdown. तो अप्रैल में मुझे खुद ही कोरोना हुआ, तो इसलिए मुझे पता है कि अप्रैल फर्स्ट वीक में कोरोना चालू हुआ और दूसरी बार डेल्टा आया, 20 दिन में खत्म हो गया। तो 11 से 21 वाला पीरियड लॉकडाउन का नहीं था, अनाध्याय का था कि ऑनलाइन पढ़ाया गया। ये आपको एक एक्सपेरिमेंटल ट्रुथ लेना है। It was not lockdown. It was simply when the university offline was not working, but the people were going for vegetables and going for there, so it was not lockdown, complete lockdown. ये आपको सोचना पड़ेगा कि हम इसको rephrase कैसे करें, otherwise whole meaning will be lost. Even if it does not affect the outcome, it tells a story which is incorrect. So when you have to tell the correct story, it was क्योंकि सभी चल रहे थे, योगी जी ने कुछ बंद नहीं किया बात में, ये आपके पास है, सब लोग जानते हैं, लखनऊ का ही डेटा होगा ही जी, तो वो भी सब बताना चाहिए, लखनऊ का स्कूल का ये बच्चे इतने थे, बैकग्राउंड तो जाके ठीक है।
That was my only question. Like, the students belong to particular university school or something, whether it is random.
It's just from
the
period. So that's what you can imagine from school to.
Thank you.
And last question, so how did you recruit the subjects? You had posters or?
We basically contact through the email or WhatsApp group. Yeah.
I mean, Gaurav, like I did. So I had 30 students in my class. And within a week I asked them, I mean, after getting Aakansha, because he was proxy teacher. And we said, you all have to give me 30 students' data, 30 persons' data within this period, within 7 weeks. After lockdown, first week 20 lockdown. So we can have a reasonable control that एक हफ्ते में मिला, और चूंकि हमारा सफल इस तरह से हमारी स्ट्रेटजी बता रहे हैं, मेरे 30 स्टूडेंट थे, सबको 30 का करके देना था, तो विद इन नो टाइम मुझे 900 डेटा मिल गया। तो इसमें रिक्रूट नहीं करते हैं डिफेंडिंग, ये ही वाज जस्ट एक्सप्लोरेटरी सेटिंग आउट, यू नो, जो भी रिस्पॉन्ड कर देंगे। इट वाज ए पोस्ट फैक्टो एनालिसिस, जिन्होंने रिस्पॉन्ड किया उनका इन्होंने
Before COVID, you also had some data?
No, sir.
So there will also be one factor that, like, depending on the time, like on mood also.
That's why I said before lockdown and after during lockdown, because May 20,
No, not like
May 11 was not lockdown.
in the throughout the day, like in the morning, afternoon, or evening, the two, depending on the moods also vary. Like when I'm filling the form,
Yeah, actually,
I will feel depressed in the evening time or something.
no,
like
the
that.
questionnaire is set that way, that how do you in general feel? It's not that during the daytime.
But
The
that
problem
can be-
in our situation, they are not here. Most, I mean, this I have, because they all have been my students, and I developed this sort of, activity in college. I mean, like, for 3-4 years, I think they are like, अब तो अपना पढ़ा रहे हैं, पहले मेरे पढ़ाते थे, तो ये सब पहले मेरे पढ़ाते थे, और अपना तो ज़्यादा हमें जानते हैं। एक तो मैंने एक बार नहीं भरा था, जब जिस दिन पहुंचा क्लास में, इनको भेजा, हमने कहा आज फिर से भरवा। अब स्टूडेंट को तो याद नहीं रहता था कि पहले वाला क्या हमने भरा था, तो 3-4 बार रिपीट कराते थे, और जो गलत भरे हैं उनका मैं एक्सक्लूड कर देता था, बिकॉज होता क्या